Hey, what's up, Sport Flyer? Thanks for joining in. We're going to get going pretty soon here. Just checking my soaring settings. What's up, Riley? Thanks for joining in again. Going to be doing some more flying today. Obviously. Just making sure my weather settings are correct. That's a little fiddly to get this to work right. And, okay. Yeah, I think that's good. Looks good. All right. Yeah, Riley, if you want to join in, oh, Sport Flyer. Okay. All right. Let's start. Yeah, if you guys want to get in here. Okay, so if you look at my stream, let me bring this on the screen. And let's see, you can hide that. All right, at my About page, I added a little panel down here. Yet they're not clickable. I don't know why. You can go to this, and you can download the flight plan and the weather preset. And then I also have a Discord server you can join and check that out. So the yeah, thanks Stream Elements for saying that I'm not live. So I'm not live. Thanks for joining. Got some people joining already. That's awesome. Thanks for stopping by. I'm just explaining that I have the flight plan and weather presets available. If you look down on my page, on the Twitch page, if you're on YouTube, click the link, go over to Twitch, and I have a link to a Google Drive. You have to, copy and paste it. I don't know why it's not clickable there. I'll fiddle with that next time. One step at a time, right? And you can download the flight plan and weather preset. The flight plan is really easy to load up. You just do that from the map page. It's kind of stupid. You have to hit spacebar or click it to bring up more at the bottom, and it says you say more, and then you say load flight plan, like load save, and then you can load that file. You just load the F. Let's bring that up. You just load this file, utahzigzag.pln. The weather preset, I think you have to copy that into the presets folder, the appropriate folder, which is, let's see if we can find it. It should be it's in one of the app data folders, so it would be C drive, users, whatever your user directory is, app data roaming, Microsoft Flight Simulator weather presets. So yeah, a ridiculously long tricky place to go find the weather presets, but that's where you put that file. So I'm just going to put these off the screen. Let me know in the chat if you need help with that. We'll see if we can get it set up. If we want to sync the weather, you have to have it set to the same time. So you need to be set to spawn in the same location. The flight plan will bring you there, and then the time. I have it 11:48 a.m. right now. You want to be as close to noon as you can get this slider. If you drag this window box open, this gives you more resolution on the slider to be able to actually, if you drag this thing, it skips around. So if you drag the weather window open, you have more resolution. You can get it right to the right time. So we're going to try to take off around noon. So hop in. Got some other people joining in. So while you guys are getting the weather set, let me bring this up. Plans and weather. So this is a Google Drive. The link's down below. And if you can't figure that out, I also have screenshots of how you can set up the weather yourself. Screenshots of the weather. Anyways, should have that stuff. Let me get my my social shares going while you guys get that set up. and hopefully we'll see you in the game. You can also find me, of course, Designed by Dave Gamertag. Find me in the game, the West USA server. And let's see, I need to check this out. Got some people watching. That is very cool. Let me get this going real quick. All right, let's see. Zig, zag. Just trying to figure out how to manually add the flight plan file. You do it in the map, in the main map, Riley. In the main menu map, the world map. Down at the bottom, there's some buttons to click on. One of them says More. It's like, by default, it's mapped to spacebar. And you click More, and then there'll be a link that pops up that says Load Save. Click Load Save, and then you just locate the file, browse to the file wherever the directory is, and then it'll load the flight plan. But it's hidden behind the More button. For some reason, UI developers think it's easier for people to do things if you give them less options. But then that means the options are hidden behind another button. And if you don't know how to click that button, then you don't know where to go. I had to Google it to figure that out. If you have to use Google to figure out how to use your software is not designed very well. Speaking as someone who's never developed software in his life. It's the holidays, so I'll be tuning in every stream I can. Cool, man. It is the holidays. Okay, well, let me show you guys our task for today. This is called a flight plan if you're flying powered airplanes. For glider pilots, we call this a task. Although it's not set up like a real task. I can go into more detail on that later. Okay, Sport Flyer, how to load the weather. Okay, so this is tricky. You might have to exit the game. You have to dump it in. You have to copy that WPR file in a specific directory. Riley says you can load it through the weather menu. I haven't tried that, Riley, so you might be right. Yeah. I think there's a load button. But if not, this is the directory that it goes in. Your C drive, users, whatever your username is, app data, roaming, Microsoft Flight Simulator, weather presets. So it's right there. But Riley says you can load it through the weather menu in the world map in the game. I haven't tried that. I don't know why. That's how it should work, right? All right, flying the Discus 2C again today in my colorful livery. I was gonna change to the, what was it, LS18 that came with the new update, 40th anniversary update. But I'm thinking this color scheme is kind of my brand now, so I think I need to stick with it. We're flying in Utah today. Utah has some spectacular mountains for soaring. We're going to be going zigzag pattern across the Wasatch mountain range. I'm not sure if it's Wasatch as far south as we are here, but definitely when you get further north, the mountains get taller. Just to the east of the Salt Lake area is the Wasatch Mountains. Those are spectacular mountains. and they should they do look really incredible in the game. I've flown around them in a powered airplane, but of course you guys know how I feel about motors, so we're not doing that today. We got the gliders out, so. Thanks for joining in, guys. We're just getting ready, getting set up. I got a couple of guys here that are getting their weather presets and flight plans loaded, and then once they get in here, we'll get flying. So, another thing to do is set the pressure altitude in your altimeter. So if you look in the weather. Pressure is very low pressure today, 28.93. So we need to load that into our altimeter. I just learned this. I need to put it into freedom units. 28.9123. Wait, 9, 1, 2, 3 clicks. Okay, now we should show the right altitude. I show 4,800 feet. That seems super high, but maybe not. The weather menu is, the weather menu is in the world view, the world map. So if you're at the main menu, you go world map, and then weather menu. Yeah, you got to be in the sim to see it, Sport Flyer. Yeah. What is... Huh. Yeah, I guess I could drop out and reload in. Just bear with us here for a minute here, guys. We're going to get going pretty soon. I got a couple of guys that want to join me in the air today, and it'll be more fun if we can get synced up on our flight plans and weather. And it's a little fiddly to get this working, so yeah, this may not work. I'm not gonna hang around too long, but I do want to get these going. I'm great, Riley. Thanks for asking. Are you able? Did you get the flight plan and weather loaded? Are you able to get in the game here? I don't see you on the runway yet, so although we would be kind of just like right on top of each other. Actually, I can slew. Yeah, there we go. I can just slew ahead. If we're right inside each other, if we spawn in the exact location, we'll be like inside of each other, and then we disappear in each other's views. So I'm not gonna actually take off. I'm just gonna slew to altitude again because I just cheat to get airborne. Riley's loading into the sim. Okay, Sport Flyer and Riley. Yeah, if we can get three flying together, will be very, very cool. If we get the weather synced up right, you guys will get to experience some cross-country flying. We've got a bit of wind today. As we sit here on the runway, you can kind of see some motion in the clouds. Look like they're moving a little bit. Although not a lot of wind on the ground, but that's okay. So this could be not nearly as long as yesterday's flight, but could be quite challenging with the wind. We don't want to get into the lee side rotor because we're going to be crossing the mountains kind of back and forth. There's tall mountains and there's some pretty rugged terrain, so it could be pretty tricky. Having trouble loading the weather. Yeah, you might need to actually physically copy that file, the preset. You might need to copy this into the directory. Yeah, so it's kind of a thing. And I do see you there. I see you at the runway. Is the okay? So is the if you're loaded into the game, you might You might see the weather grayed out. I don't know if that's what you're seeing. Oh, how do you select the preset? It's right here. This drop down should show up on this list. There is I don't know if it's a bug or some kind of a feature, but if you load a saved flight, I think it's okay with a flight plan, but if you load a saved flight, the whole weather gets grayed out. You can't make any changes. But I think it works with a flight plan, so I think we're okay here. Do I need to restart the sim after putting the file? Maybe. Yeah, if you copied into that folder, but you have to copy it into the right directory, right? So, how are we doing, Sport Flyer? I want to wait for you guys, but I can't. I don't want to wait around. I don't want to keep the stream holding up too long here. You'll be able to spawn in and sort of teleport to my location if it's taken a while. It's pretty fiddly to get set up and working. So, yeah. Yeah, kind of trying to like figure out a procedure where this is reliable and it works. Yeah, having a hard time. Yeah, yeah, this is kind of the thing that it just seems kind of fiddly, right? Yeah, so maybe I'll try to make a more proper tutorial video in the future and see. So, okay, all right. You learned how to use aerotow. Great, cool. Yeah, aerotowing is a very cool way to get airborne. So, all right, let's get her going here. These guys will get it figured out. They'll pop in. We're flying a cross country task today in Utah. Let me bring up the map. Show you guys what we're doing today. Today's flight, 181 nautical miles. We're going to be zigzagging across the Wasatch Mountains in Utah, the sort of south and east area of Salt Lake, Great Salt Lake. This mountain range is absolutely beautiful in real life. I've done a little bit of flying here in real life. I've driven through there, ridden my bike around here. Beautiful area. It looks awesome in the sim. I've only flown it in a powered airplane, so we're going to go experience it in the glider today. On the map setup screen, what should be selected for multiplayer and air traffic? Oh, it's affecting loading the weather. Yeah, I don't think I can see that here. Shoot, you set it to I think live players and but not AI traffic, and then you turn off the live weather. But once you customize the weather, the live weather goes off. So, a lot of people flying in the area today. And cool. Great. Let's see. Okay, let's give Riley 1 sec here to load in. Got a lot of air traffic around the Salt Lake area, which is cool. Yeah, it's okay. So it's not live players. It's I think there's 3 options. There's like live players, and then there's like all players, and then there's just the group. But you want to set it to all players. Yeah, all players allow you to change the weather. Right. Yeah. So everybody's sharing the same virtual space, but they all have their own identical weather unless you load in with the same weather preset. It's kind of silly how convoluted this is. Like, come on, Asobo, make this a little bit more. Let us sync the weather, you know. All right, I'm gonna get going here. These guys will spawn in. Hopefully, they'll get it figured out. I'll try to do a more, maybe like a tutorial video, maybe tonight or tomorrow, and post that and show you guys. Try to get a real good feel for exactly how this works, so we can sync this up better. So at least I have the data files for you this time, right? One new thing at a time, one step at a time, right? So, all right. So I'm just gonna slew the altitude. It's showing me at 5,000 feet here on the runway, which seems a bit high, but this is pretty high terrain. So maybe that's not too bad. So I like to start about 2,500 feet. So we'll go to 7,500. Here, look at this. Is me arrow towing. Good enough. Riley's got the weather preset loaded. All right, great. Okay, here we go. We're flying, boys. And yep, I gotta fix this. Little bug in this airplane is the Vario doesn't make noise until you turn the instrument off and on again. All right, we need to go find some lift. We need to go climbing. And we got a big cloud there. Got to kind of punch upwind to get to it. Or we could head, oh, right behind me actually. Oh, right, actually, yeah, right over here. Look at this guy. There's a big shadow, there's a big thermal, and a bit of a cloud here. So we'll find some lift right here. Aero tow rocket ship. Yeah, rocket powered tow launch. That'd be an exciting way to get into the air. It would work if you can handle the acceleration. All right, we're underway. We're just starting now. And this is it's going to be a fun flight. There's going to be some really cool scenery, kind of a sightseeing site. Thanks for joining the stream, guys. Give us a shout out in the chat. Let us know where you're watching from. If you're also flying in the sim, you know, what kind of aircraft are you flying? You just checking out gliders for the first time? Not a lot of people, at least streaming the glider flying. So that's kind of why I'm doing it. Because I think gliders are super cool, and soaring flight is super awesome as well. So we're coming up underneath this cloud here, trying to find a thermal. Dark clouds usually mean thermals in real life and in the sim. Dark bottom cumulus clouds like this, rather. And here we go. We're starting to get some beeps on the variometer. We're sort of going to just fly into it. And we're looking for the center. We're looking for the peak, the core. Or at least an area that's large enough that we can make a full 360-degree turn in lift. That's sounding good. I'm going to go ahead and veer to the right. That's nice and strong. All right. Oh, this is a big thermal. 8 knots, peaked out, averaging 7 knots. It's a good rate of climb. 7,300 feet. The ground level is about 5,000 around here. This is some high elevation country up here in Utah, sort of central northern Utah. And we're gonna get established. First thing you do when you get off tow in the glider, in the sailplane, whether you're flying cross country or whatever, is, as we say, get established. You're gonna find that first thermal and you're gonna work it and get as high as you can. Oh, cool, we see Riley's in the game now. That's great. Riley, do your clouds look like my clouds if you're watching the stream? So we're just getting established, 7,700 feet. We've got a decent thermal here. Well, we should be able to get right up to the cloud base. Definitely have a few thousand feet to climb in this thing. This is a nice thermal. It's consistent. It's not super strong, but it's consistent. We're going up. There's some stronger stuff. See if we can kind of maneuver a little bit to get into that. I tweaked my eye tracking settings. I'm not sure if the eye tracker is going to work for me, but we'll try it a little bit more today. A lot of people like them. I'm just thinking it's kind of not great for streaming. I see Riley down there. Hopefully he can find the lift. He's below me. Hopefully Riley got the weather loaded in. You had to also make sure and set the time of day the same too, Riley. So it has to be noon, a little bit after noon now. And the date, July 1st, 2022. Altitude 8,800 feet and climbing. We've got a nice little thermal to start the day off. And you can see my first goal to target there off ahead where it says 7,500 feet. I'm not sure if that's the elevation, but it is an airport, so I'm going to guess that it is. What's the time in the game? I am showing 12:22 p.m. on July 1st, 2022. And this thermal's gotten a bit lighter as we've gotten higher. Either that or I've lost focus and I've come away from the core. Climbing up through 9,000 feet here, doing pretty good. Find the Discus 2C from the developer Got Friends. You can get it in the marketplace, but there's also a freeware version available online. If you Google it, you can find that. We're in kind of central Utah, south of Utah Lake and the Great Salt Lake. Sportflyer says, I would suggest adding the in-game timer to your toolbar in the future. Yeah, that would be great up top, wouldn't it? Yeah. I don't know if it is a feature or not. I would think that it should be. I'll check on that. There's a suggestion box down below. If you put it in there, that'll remind me. Looks like the altimeter is working today. The altimeter was working yesterday, and then it stopped working. So, I don't know what's up with that. And this thermal is kind of petering out here. Maybe I'm just flying out of it. At 9,500 feet. Looks like I should be able to get quite a bit higher. But we'll just keep circling. We'll just keep getting what we can get. Not super strong. We've got a decent mostly cross tailwind on this. We're going to be zigzagging, so we won't ever have a we're going to be zigzagging on the flight path on the task, so we won't ever have an exact tailwind, a straight tailwind. But you know, the wind will generally be pushing us in the direction we need to go. So it'll be out of the south. Yeah, this is a beautiful area. This is a great drive. I think it's up the... What highway is this? I can't remember. The main interstate that runs north and south through there. Might be I-15. Yeah, I think that's right. Beautiful drive. So the lift is, yeah, kind of light, but it's going up. 9,900 feet. Got Riley down there below me. Hopefully he's getting some lift. There's some stronger stuff. When I sort of am, when I'm in light lift and I sort of encounter some stronger stuff, then it's like, you know, adjust your turn a little bit and see if you can stay more in the stronger stuff. Sport Flyers, how do I get on the same server? If you click on your gamer tag, here I can show you. If you in the your gamer tag up here, you click there and it says servers. I'm on West USA Automatic because that's where I am. So you can change this. So West USA. And then I should show up on the map, on the world view map, and in the game. You can also add me as a friend. Designed by Dave, gamertag. And I'm not sure if that... Yeah, then it'll be highlighted, I think. Be like it'll be green on the map, I think it is. 10,300 feet. Yep, so we're still climbing here. You can see I got to get up over these mountains. So I need to be high. So I got a lot of lift, and the wind's going to be generally pushing us in the direction we need to go. But because we have to cross the mountain range several times, this could be a somewhat technical flight. And so that's kind of the challenge that I'm looking for here. Like every time you set up one of these cross-country tasks, you know, you don't want it to be too easy. You don't want it to be a milk run, as we say. You want some kind of challenge. Yesterday, flying in the Andes, the challenge was kind of just the distance. Can I fly for 5 hours? Can I stream for 5 hours? And I did. That was great. And now the challenge is going to be sort of technically crossing these mountains. (10,600 feet). This lift is pretty light, but it's still going up. And my first leg of this flight, I already have right away going to have to cross this mountain range to the east of me. And the mountains are pretty tall, so I think I'm going to need to get a little bit higher to make sure I have plenty of clearance to get up and over them. Yeah, it's Riley says it's hard to type in the chat while he's trying to actually fly like this. So yeah, I totally get it, dude. You know, you can always pause it to type if you need to, you know, get a message out, but. All right, now this lift is it gone? Let me see here. Can we find it a little bit? 11,000 feet. It's pretty good. Remember, that's 11,000 MSL, mean sea level. The ground where we took off from is 5,000 feet, so we're really only 6,000 AGL, which I mean is still pretty high. But it's a lot less high than what 11,000 sounds like. All right, let's start heading towards our goal here, or our first turn point. I could veer towards that big dark cloud on my left. Yeah, and look, there's kind of a street here, so you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, kind of a cloud street. So let's kind of follow that street, as we call it. And I'm kind of playing with the eye tracker thing. Every time I look down, yeah, I'm not sure that's going to work for me. Kind of playing with the eye tracker thing too. Got the Tobii Eye Tracker 5. And it works good. I think it's a really cool device, but I think it just kind of doesn't work that great for streaming, at least for me, because I've got, you know, a monitor down below where I'm, you know, monitoring the chat and stuff, and I'm looking at other monitors. So it, yeah, it, I don't know. It's kind of, so every time I look down at that monitor, it, you know, it looks down. So. All right, we're at 11,000 feet. We left that cloud, and now we're trying to head towards this bigger one. Well, this has a bit taller base, it looks like, so we should be able to get a bit higher up here. Oh, bummer. Sportflyer says he's not getting the option to change servers. Yeah, I don't know, dude. He may not be online. You might have to close the game and reopen. It's fiddly. Yeah, that's something that me and my friend Tom Lowe have had issues with. We're like, I'll be online, but it won't show me as online. And, oh, there we go. That's what we want to hear. As we approach this cloud, we're getting a nice thermal. Let's find the core. I'm flying too slow, but that's alright. We can speed up as we come around. Bingo. Ooh, that's a bingo. We just say bingo. So forgive me with the eye tracker thing if I, you know, if it all of a sudden the camera points down or whatever awkwardly. But yeah, I don't like the eye tracker for thermaling either. I turn it off. Never mind, I'm an idiot. Well, let's not do the self-deprecating stuff around here, right? It is fiddly. It may not be your fault. It's definitely, yeah, it's definitely a little bit weird. Time check. Time check is 12:35 p.m. July 1st, 2022. climbing up through 11,800 feet here. First thermal topped me out around 11,000. So getting up a bit higher. Alright, hopefully you got that. 12,000 feet in climbing. I see Riley down there. Hopefully Riley has the same clouds and we're doing some soaring. He's at 11,800 feet, doing pretty good. And I'm getting right up to the base of this cloud, right, getting into the wispies, as we say. We're climbing at 4 or 5 knots. 7 knots, that's still pretty good. And I see Space Vampire down there on the runway. That must be a sport flyer. That's super cool. Hopefully you can join us in there. Riley looks like he's at 12,000. Shooting up and down the range. I'm getting up into the white room here now. And I keep flying too slow because I'm getting distracted. And that's at the top of the lift. No. Yeah, a lot of air traffic flying around Salt Lake. That's cool. This is a very neat place to fly. A lot of cool scenery to see here. And I'm still going up here. $13,000 feet. That's looking pretty good. Give it the external view. We're kind of still working on getting established, as they say. We're topping out the lift in the first thermal before we go on glide for our first turn point. We've got a 181 mile zigzagging task across the Wasatch Mountains in Utah, which shouldn't be too difficult at least in terms of the weather and the wind. We've got a crossing tailwind pretty much the whole day. But we've got a lot of mountain ranges to cross. We're going to sort of crisscross the Wasatch Mountains. So it could be somewhat technical because we got some decent wind. There's a lot of valleys. Valleys can produce Venturi effects where the wind really increases in velocity. And also rotor if you get into the lee side of the mountain. So we want to stay on the upwind side of the mountains as much as possible. Or of the upwind side of the ridges when we're making crossings. The game does simulate lee side rotor and the associated sink and turbulence pretty darn well. It could be pretty crazy in there. Space Vampire's in the air and climbing. Probably on tow. Got Riley D down there. He's almost at 13,000 feet, so he's doing pretty good. And I am about to hit 14,000. Right there, 14,000 feet. Climbing right up through the clouds, as seems to be the case in the sim. Real life, meh. Not really. We're about something like 25 minutes into the flight here. Climbing up through 14,000 feet. And Space Vampire looks like he's climbing over there, so I'm gonna just kind of milk this lift and kind of linger in the area a little bit, see if these guys can get up to my altitude, and then we'll go on glide maybe together. So I sync up a little bit. Also gonna pause it in a second and go get a beverage. Too much talking last night on the stream all night, and my throat's a little scratchy, a little dry. Riley just got his eye tracker working. Cool. Yeah, I think for... Let me turn mine on. And then looking right at the ground. I think for general sim flying, the eye tracker is great. I think for at least what I'm doing with streaming, it doesn't really work too well. I can see Riley down below me there. Altitude 14,700. I kind of climb up alongside the edge of these beautiful cumulus clouds here. Got a couple new people, new watchers popping in on the stream. Thanks for checking us out, guys. We are flying gliders today in Utah. Beautiful Wasatch Mountains in sort of central Utah. Ho, 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 Scott by Scott. Thanks for dropping by. Santa Claus, should I get a Rudolph glider? It's kind of got a red nose. $15,000 feet. Okay, plenty of altitude to go on glide. Space Vampire is over at 78. Alright, what I'm gonna do, guys, you guys climb. Oh, Scott was playing some of the new Shoot House in the new Modern Warfare. Might have to check that out. Alright. I'm gonna just get out of this thermal. And I'm gonna go get a beverage while you guys are climbing up. This will give you guys a chance to catch up a little bit. All right, just gonna pause it. Okay, I'll be right back. All right, hopefully you guys are climbing up here. Just had to get a beverage and a couple of snacks. This is going to be a long flight. Need to keep the blood sugar up. Need to keep the energy level up. We're getting crazy today. They had the Diet Arnold Palmers were on sale at Albertsons. So this is, you know, it's just a little treat to myself. No pausing. This is real. No, this is a sim. This is, we get to enjoy the luxuries of being in a simulator. The airliner guys can worry about authenticity. We're worried about entertainmentfulness. Also, if finally made it to 15K. All right, Riley. Yeah, I'm on glide, buddy. If come up behind me here. And follow me to the first turn point. 51 nautical miles to go. Let's see. See if I can find you. There you are. Space Vampire is... Looks like he's kind of struggling there. 7,000 feet. I'm sure he'll get up. Riley's on the other side of that big cloud. I have a surprise, a special treat in the music selection for you guys later on. If we get towards the end of this flight, depending on how it goes, you know, if we get a lot of viewers, or maybe if we get rated or something like that, then I'll bust it out. If there's a special occasion. But this is a special occasion only song. So I'm not gonna bust it out unless the stream really deserves it. But it is a treat, let me tell you. Flying up through this cloud here, headed towards Major Wheelman, number 4147. All right, let's give you guys, since we're going on glide, let me give you the map. I like to give you the update, show you what we got going on here. Here's where we're headed. Zigzag pattern across the Wasatch Mountain Range in Utah, on the Salt Lake area. Just took off down here about 45 minutes ago from Nephi Municipal. Ooh, a little wonky there. And yeah, we're on our first leg over to Thunder Ridge Air Park. 48.76 nautical miles straight ahead. Altitude 15,000 feet. Doing pretty good. If you guys want to join us, if you guys want to join in with us, I have in the Twitch stream. If you're on YouTube, check out the link to Twitch. On the Twitch page, in the About section down below, there's a link to a Google Drive folder where I have the weather and the flight plan preset files you can download, as well as screenshots of the weather. If you can't figure out how to get the preset to work because it's fiddly, you can just manually set your own. To try to match the conditions we're flying in. Oh, getting some turbulence here. That's cool. A little bumpy. First time chat from Northview Esports. What's up, brother? Thanks for joining in. Or sister. Sorry. Don't mean to assume any genders around here. Oof. This was a little rowdy up here. Too much turbulence. Yeah, it's rough right here, Riley. This is you're gonna crash. It's not that rough, but it's not for me. One thing for sure to check is in your weather, check the wind and make sure you're. Oh yeah, look, it screwed this up on me too. What happened? How is this? It just keeps doing this. It keeps changing the gust and the speed and the prevailing wind direction. These should be the same direction. I don't know why it does that. So check your wind in the weather, and make sure your wind and your gust are from the same direction. I don't know how they get reversed. It's a bug or something. Northeast Esports, where are you watching from? Thanks for checking us out. We're flying gliders here in Microsoft Flight Simulator. That's the kind of flying I like to do. I've got the weather, running a custom weather preset for some pretty good cross-country soaring conditions. And we're flying in Utah. Look at the scenery here. Quite beautiful scenery in the sim and in real life. Beautiful part of the country. That's Utah Lake right there. And further north is the Great Salt Lake. We'll be getting there later on in the flight. This guy hates engines. No joke, I do hate engines. Engines are a pain in the ass, dude. You gotta change the oil. I mean, think about the engine in your car. You gotta change the oil. It gets hot. It's messy. But an engine in an airplane is like, oh, it's even more a pain. Like you gotta monitor like the oil pressure, and you have to like change the fuel mixture ratios and stuff. And you have to know like how many gallons per hour you're burning and how far you're gonna go, and that depends on what altitude you're flying at and what the pressure density is. It's like all this crap you have to think about that's not flying. I'm gonna turn my pitot heater on. Flying through some lift here. So with soaring aircraft, with gliders, dude, we can fly. We're gonna fly for hours. We flew for 5 hours yesterday with no motor. All right, didn't burn any dead dinosaurs. Except for one. We burned one dinosaur to get to altitude initially, the tow plane, right? Woo, man, it's rough out here. Geek Builders, what's up, Sean? Thanks for joining in the stream. Glad to see you here. I have flown in a glider in real life one time, many years ago. It was like a short flight with a friend of mine. It was very unremarkable. There was no lift. Actually, that was really awesome though, because he had an airplane at Chino Airport, and so we got in his small airplane, Cessna 1 something, like a vintage Cessna, and we flew to the glider field, and then we did a glider flight, and then we flew back in his airplane. Yeah, that was really awesome. So, but the glider flight itself wasn't particularly remarkable. Just kind of flew up and towed up and just kind of flew around and landed. And but yeah, no, I've not flown in a sailplane other than that. Not a good soaring flight. Certainly not like this. But I have done, of course, a lot of hang gliding in real life. And I've flown in this area in real life. Should we petition Microsoft to add hang gliders in the sim? You know, the problem with that is they got to get the right kind of person to do it right. And there's not a lot of people who understand the flight mechanics of weight shift aircraft like a hang glider that could do that right. Having said that, my buddy Tom Lowe, who I've been flying with, he is actively developing a simulator for hang gliders called Free Flight Experience. And I've sort of talked to him about how if it would be possible to integrate it into Microsoft Flight Simulator. So he's got like procedurally generated scenery and stuff using an Unreal Engine. It looks really cool. But the thing about it being in Microsoft Flight Simulator is you have this built-in user base already, right? So, I think there's a lot of people watching streams on Twitch. It just gives you an idea of how many people are flying or have Microsoft Flight Simulator installed, and if they have it, then maybe they install your add-on or whatever, plug in to fly hang gliders. So, yeah, I don't know if that's something that could happen in the future. It would be cool. If they do, if that does become a thing, I would definitely check it out. and that'll be fun. And we're getting some turbulence on this flight. This is interesting. This is cool. Most so far I've been having really smooth air, but that's okay. We can fly some turbulence. I have to start playing the sim again. It's been a while. Yeah, man. It's super cool. Yeah, especially if you have the computer hardware to run it. And, you know, I mean, just look at this awesome scenery here. I just love flying and looking around at the scenery, you know. Yeah, it'd be cool to have you join us in here, Sean. Probably should have gone towards that cloud, but nah, I don't need to. Still at 13,800 feet, super high. And this is a very realistic altitude for flying in this part of the country in these conditions. And so 37.5 nautical miles to this first turn point of this task. And I can see there's some clouds along the route here, along the way. So if I get some lift there, I'll do some turns. Definitely have some turbulence, which is kind of cool. In real life, you know, the turbulence can be not fun to fly in, but in the sim, it's okay. Kind of makes it more interesting. There's some lift sync? No, just turbulence. Man. Almost an hour into this flight here. Kind of a slow start. Let's see if, let's check behind me, see if I can see Riley. Yeah, Riley D is at 13,000. Not sure if he's coming or not. Space Vampire over there looks like he's not doing too great. 5,600 feet. He's probably setting it to land. Now you can always tow back up. Pretty cool view there. I can clouds off on my right here. Some pretty rugged terrain out here. You wouldn't want to go down out here. There's a lot of rugged wilderness. Bumped around. Little puffy cloud ahead here. Let's see if this gives me some lift as I get to this cloud. I'm in a little bit of lift now, but I think it's just kind of, that is crazy strong. Look at that. I gotta turn my vario on. Alright, we're doing some turns here, guys. See, this is gonna just fool me. He's picking berries. Sport Flyer's picking berries. Yeah. Sometimes that's how it goes. Turn back in, see if we can get back into that lift. Yeah, there's Riley. Pretty strong lift here, so you can see. Pretty strong lift with no cloud above me. So we can definitely have lift where there's no clouds. And vice versa. But, let's see, it's not really consistent. I'm out of it. First time chat, how you doing? Cohiva. What's up? Thanks for joining. Glad to see you here. We're flying gliders today. If that wasn't obvious. Well, maybe it's not from the cockpit, but now it should be obvious. No motor. We are flying cross country. Is it windy out there? We got about a 10 knots of wind, but it's kind of gusty, kind of turbulent. So it's not a whole lot of wind, but it's kind of some turbulence that I wasn't expecting. So it's kind of interesting in the sim. Someone watching from YouTube. Hi, how you doing? You die. Oh, that's a hard one to say. I'm sorry. I apologize. I don't think I'm gonna try to pronounce that name. Udayada. Udayada. Udayada? Is that right? Alright, this thermal. Yeah, that was kind of a sucker thermal. That was a waste of time. I don't think I got any altitude out of that. I probably lost altitude. So we're just flying. We're just headed towards our first turn point here. If you guys are just checking out the stream, thanks. Appreciate it. We are flying cross country in the gliders in Utah today. Here's the map. Here's the task. Took off down here in Nephi. And now we're headed to the northeast to Thunder Ridge Air Park. I'm about halfway there, and then we're going to zig and zag across the Wasatch Mountains and head for Ogden, Utah. This is a really beautiful part of the country. There's some epic mountain scenery here to check out. So your lift is coming from the hot ground, maybe? Yeah, so the way thermals work is you get, in a general sense, you get uneven heating on the ground. You get localized area of warm air. And warm air is less dense than cold air, so it rises. Think like a hot air balloon. And so you get these columns or bubbles of rising air. And we can exploit that by flying an aircraft that has a low wing loading. And we have a device that beeps when we're going up. It's doing it right now. Let me just turn it back on. I'm going to pause the music. We try to work this here. And so we're in a thermal. This is what we call a thermal. And we kind of got to focus on it here. Let me try to get established in this thermal. So the pitch and the frequency of the beeps that you hear on the variometer correspond to the rate of climb and the number you can see here. So now I'm not climbing and it's negative, so it's not beeping anymore. But as I come around, it should get back into it. Yeah, here we go. So I'm trying to find the strongest part of this lift, but it's a small area, so I'm not going to bother with that one anymore. I got plenty of altitude. Yeah, I think I'll just waste time if I try and turn in that one. And maybe end up losing altitude. So yeah, I'm not going to turn in that one anymore. But now it's keeping beeping me. It's going to sucker me into it. Should I go? No, I'm not going to go. It's tricky decision making because you got to go like, do I turn in this lift or not? All right, let's try another turn. I think this is going to be bad. So I flew through that lift, so now I'm going to turn a tight 180 to see if I can get back into it. And it's here underneath this cloud. But it's kind of broken up and not very consistent. So when we have weather like this, we have these cumulus. These are what we call cumulus clouds. These puffy, and I'm gonna just level up, head towards my target here. These puffy clouds, right? So what's happening is that warm air is rising in the thermals, and it gets to a certain altitude where it cools and condenses and forms a cloud. So this is a day with good thermals. These clouds are, so the clouds are generally indicators of lift. So we're kind of, I mean, I'm flying towards my goal straight ahead here at 29 nautical miles, but I'm also looking for the clouds because the clouds are indicators of thermals, usually, generally, on a day like this, these types of clouds. So in the sim, it seems to be that the darker clouds, the more dense clouds have stronger, more consistent lift underneath them. So like over here, these dark gray ones will have really good strong lift, and these like lighter puffy ones not so much. In real life, I don't know that that's really the case. I think there's a lot more variability to it than that. So, you know, but we'll do the best we can in the sim. So We'll do what we can do with what we're given, you know. So I'm doing at 13,200 feet right now. Pretty stinking high over the mountains in Utah. Pretty rugged terrain below me. I need this altitude to cross all this terrain because there's nowhere to land down here. I could probably put it down in one of those fields, but it wouldn't be pretty and would probably break the airplane. So, cauliflower clouds, that's a good way of thinking about it. Yeah, they do look like cauliflower, yeah. Maybe they look more like cauliflower than cotton balls, because cauliflower, when you cut it, has like a flat bottom, and that's what we see as a flat bottom. So typically the highest you can get would be the bottoms of the clouds, or as we say, the cloud base, the base of the clouds. As you can see, I'm about that altitude right now. I'm right about cloud base. All right, 27 nautical miles to go to the first turn point, and I've been getting some like buoyant air. I've got the audio for the video turned off, but I can see the number and it's positive. So this is kind of just gonna kind of, as we say, porpoise fly, which is I'm not gonna stop and turn in these thermals, but as I can see the lift, I see the indicator go up, I'm just gonna slow it up. Just gonna fly slow in the lift, and then when I come out of it, then I'll fly fast. So I'll sort of get some free altitude while I'm gliding along here. Hey Rich, nice simulator. Yeah, it's cool. This is the latest version of Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's super awesome. If you haven't seen it before, it's really phenomenal graphics. Very, very immersive gameplay. And they just recently released an update that added gliders and a soaring model with thermal flying, arrow towing, stuff like that. So I've been really enjoying it. Whoa, that's some turbulence. Woo. It's a bumpy in here today. This is an interesting day. This is cool. I'm digging this. So far, it's just been like really smooth conditions. So it's kind of nice to see some a little bit of variety here. 13,500 feet and still just getting like buoyant air. We're just going up like crazy here. Yeah, right over this cloud is kind of giving me some lift. If you guys are digging the stream, give me a follow on Twitch if you would. I'm trying to get a kind of a following, a community going over here on Twitch. I want to get more people in the sim flying gliders and flying gliders with me. You know, we could all be flying this cross country task together. And I have Riley coming up behind me. Riley, it's okay. He's doing all right. Riley started watching the stream yesterday, and now he's getting in here today. That is super cool to see. I'm not holding my heading very well when I do that. What's the minimum altitude decision before diverting somewhere to land? Well, that's a good question. You know, it depends on how far away the area to land is. You're kind of... When you're flying cross-country like this... And there's a follower. Thanks so much. Cohiva, appreciate the follow. So when you're flying cross country like this, you're kind of scanning for two things. You're looking where's the next lift and where's the next landing area. And so the question is, where can I get to? And there's no guarantee about the lift, right? So I'm coming up. I can see, coming up on some clouds here. So there's probably going to be lift there, but there's no guarantee. So I'm kind of just like constantly scanning, right? Looking where can I land. And I can see right here some open areas. So I could totally land in these fields out here. And, it might not be ideal. I might break the glider doing that. But I'm in the simulator, so, who cares, right? But in real life, that's kind of what you'd probably be looking for, right? Is a big open field you could land in. But also, I probably have this next airport on glide. 22 miles. I'm at 13,600 feet, so I probably have that on glide. So I'll probably be okay. When you have a proper task set up for cross-country flying in an instrument like this, you'll have which we don't have because Microsoft Flight Simulator doesn't have it built in. But if I had a proper task going, I would have this spot that I'm trying to get to as a waypoint on the navigation. It actually is in here, it's not set up the way you would normally for soaring. So anyways, you'd have the waypoint and you'd have the altitude. And with the waypoint and the altitude, the flight computer will tell you the glide ratio to your next spot. So you'll know, like, can I make it there on glide? Yes, no problem. Can I make it there on glide? No. So then I have to decide, I'm either gonna go to the next lift spot or I'm gonna go land. Soaring flying is super cool. It's super dynamic. It's all about constantly making decisions. Finding the lift, working the lift. Where am I going to get up next? Where am I going to find the next lift? And it's never guaranteed. And I'm hitting some strong lift here. And it's turbulent. Oof, man, this is an interesting day. That wasn't enough to turn in. That wasn't enough to climb in. There's some lifts. Man, this is bumpy. Yeah. So I need to find lift that's big enough, an area of lift that's big enough to climb in. That was some lift, but it just wasn't very big. Yeah, see, it flew right in and out of it. So it's kind of just like turbulence-induced lift. I can't really work that. I need to find like a big area that I can make circles in. So I'm kind of looking for that. And I got a big dark cloud up here, so I'm going to head for this one, kind of up on my right, which will put me a little bit off my course line, but that should be okay. As I come under this cloud, let's see if we get something consistent here. Nope. Man, it's rough out here today. This would be kind of uncomfortable IRL. Flying over this big lake reservoir up here. Yeah, I could definitely land down there if I needed to. Is there more lift above the lake over there? Probably not lift above the lake. I think typically we don't see lift thermals coming over bodies of water. That doesn't. I don't think that's typical. But across the lake, you can see there's a big cloud ahead of me, and this one's looking pretty dark. So this is these are good, generally good indicators of lift. So we're gonna head for this dark cloud here. It's a little bit off my course line, but it's okay because if I get up in that, if I can climb in that, then I'll be right back on the path where I need to go. A lot of people flying in the sim today. Look at all the air traffic. Let's take a look and see if Riley's still behind me. Yeah, oh, he's above me. He's kicking my butt. We had a great flight yesterday. Flew down in the Andes Mountains in Argentina. It was really beautiful. I haven't seen that scenery before in real life or in the sim, so it was really cool to experience it down there. Flew 360 miles. It was a 5-hour flight, a 5-hour stream. You could see a replay of that. That was really cool. That was a lot of fun. Got up to 20,000 feet. All right, here we go. Let's just get in some lift. Oh, up, down, up, down. As I get towards these clouds here, I bet we'll, yeah, right up underneath this one. Actually, I need to get, yeah, a little bit on the upwind side of it. About an hour into this flight here, headed towards Thunder Ridge Air Park. That's going up. That's pretty strong. Alright, trying to just sort of stay in it for a second. Okay, that's really strong. Show me 8, 9 knots, 10 knots. Oh, dumped out of it, came out of it right as soon as I started turning. Let me see if I can get back in it here. There it is. Sometimes thermals are big and fat, and that's generally what we like, is big, thick thermals. Thick. Big, fat thermals. But they're not always big and fat. Sometimes they're what we call bullet thermals, where they're like, and you can't turn a full 360 in them. This one is, well, it's kind of choppy. It's strong, it's not strong, it's strong, it's not strong, but it's here. I'm at 13,200 feet. Let's see if I can work this. So I'm kind of constantly adjusting my turn radius to try to find and stay in the strongest part of the lift. 6 knots, 8 knots, 5, 4. You can see my altitude and my vertical speed on the bar at the top. Thick thermals. Yeah, you know it, Scott. Big fat thermals. That's a hint for my special song that I might play depending on how the stream goes. All right, still kind of trying to find the find this thermal here. This one is not big and fat. This one is like, ooh, see, it's there and it's not there. Goodbye. It's there and it's not there. 13.6 though, climbed a little bit. I think I just need to get more towards this dark cloud here. Yeah, let's just head to this cloud. Riley's over here on my right. He's doing good. That's cool. Good job, bro. finding it so far, but just be patient. We'll get there. I'm kind of on the upwind side, right? You can see the wind indicator. The wind's coming from my right, so I'm expecting the wind to kind of go up over this like this. So I'm kind of coming in here on the upwind side, and we'll see if we can get it. See what we find. So far, nothing. The tone that you hear is sort of the opposite of the beeps. That's the sinking tone. It means I'm going down. Now it's beeping. It's light, but it's increasing. As we get towards the cloud, the lift is starting to accelerate. There we go. There we go. 5, 6, 8, 7, 6. There we go. That's a nice tone. Nice and steady. All right, let's try a left-hand turn. Now you should clear your turns, when you're flying aircraft, but we're in the sim, so we can reinforce bad habits. Right? There's nobody there, right? Okay, so this isn't super strong, but it's consistent. You can see I'm getting all the way around 360 degrees, and I'm climbing at averaging about 5.4 knots vertical speed, which corresponds to around 500 feet per minute. And we're going up 14,000 feet. We were just at 13.6 earlier. Need to speed up a little bit. Couple new people following the channel. We're just doing some thermaling right now, guys, but I'll once I get to the top of this lift, I'll give you a breakdown on what's happening and what today's flight entails. We're flying the Discus 2C in this very colorful Rave RGB livery. Climbing through 14,400 feet here in Utah, in the mountains of Utah. Headed towards Thunder Ridge Air Park is our first turn point on our flight plan today. Or as we would call it in the glider world, we would call that a task. Because we're not going to land there, we're just going to fly over the top of it and then head to the next point. This is a 181-mile zigzagging task over the Wasatch Mountains in Utah. It's in the Salt Lake area, a very beautiful part of the country. I'm now at 14,700 feet, able to do some climbing in this thermal. That's pretty good. And now I'm kind of lost it. See if I can find it again, or it might have just petered out. 12 nautical miles to go there to the first turn point. Oh no, there we go. We definitely have some more lift here still. We're climbing right up underneath this cloud here. We're getting right up to cloud base. You can see it's starting to get dark and wispy. Is this the real weather? No, this is not live weather. This is simulated weather. This is weather a preset that I made that I knew would generate good cross-country soaring conditions. Basically, weather that would have clouds like this or thermals. We're using a weather preset. You can see there's a Google Drive link in the description below that you can you got to copy and paste it. But there's a weather preset file and a flight plan file in there. You can download and load those up in your sim if you wanted to try this, or join us in right now. But one of the biggest challenges probably for somebody who doesn't know anything about soaring flight with getting into flying gliders in the sim would be knowing where to find weather that produces good soaring conditions. So if you don't know how to do that, or if you don't know what you're looking for, then it would be just kind of luck of the draw. So we did simulated weather because I wanted to fly in this area, and it may not be good soaring weather or soaring weather at all. It's winter time right now, so You know, you can get thermals, you can get soaring in the winter time, but typically it's not as good. Usually the summertime is usually the best time for soaring. Still climbing good here through 15,400 feet. Summertime, you know, the days are longer, so you get more solar heating, right, during the day. And it's that solar heating heats up the ground. You get just generally more energy in the atmosphere to produce thermals. And also, I mean, if you're at 15,000 feet in the middle of the summer, it's really cold up there. But if you're at 15,000 feet in the middle of the winter, it's really, really cold. So I wouldn't want to be at this altitude. I don't think a sailplane has a heated cockpit, so would not want to be at this altitude in the wintertime. I wouldn't want to be on the ground in the wintertime in Utah because they have real winter there. I'm in SoCal. It's like 70 degrees outside here today, so. But I'm still climbing. Look at that, 15,600 feet. Is my altimeter thing still working up there? Yeah. All right, cool. It stopped working yesterday at some point. Just the altimeter, though. All the other data was working. And I'm climbing up kind of into this cloud here, getting up into the white room. A lot of air traffic in Utah today. A lot of people simming in Utah. But it's a good place to sim. It's a good place to fly. Beautiful part of the country. Riley, he's up to 14,000 there. Looks like he's doing okay. He was like at 13 last I saw him, so he's climbing. Yeah, good job, dude. Good to see you down there. He's keeping up. He's not as high. But, yeah, keeping up. Someone in a Kit Fox and a Vision Jet, A319, A310, F18. It's cool to see everybody, you know, everybody's doing their thing in the sim too. All right, let's see. There's 16,000 feet. That's enough. Let's go. Let's get the goal. Let's get to our turn point here. All right, I promised to show you the map, the task, right? So if you're joining in, if you join in a little bit later, here is the. Hang on, trying to drag this over. Here's the map. Here's where we're flying today. Took off from down here at Nephi, and we're just crossing this reservoir lake here, and we're almost to our first turn point, Thunder Ridge Air Park, and then we're gonna head back across the mountains and then back again. So first leg is almost done. But we got to get there first. And we have a really nice soaring day. So Rich asks, am I just heading to goal or I'm doing a triangle? I'm doing a zigzag task. Rich, I let me bring this up again. I don't know if you just were typing that while I was showing the task. But I took off down here at Nephi and this is the first leg. So zigzag pattern to Ogden, Utah today. I'm going to enjoy the scenery in the mountains in Utah, the Wasatch Mountain Range over here on my left, which I'm leaving, but I'm going to rejoin in a minute. And I can speed way up here. I think generally I'm flying way too slow. Oh, I need to adjust my McCready setting. 400. Set it to 0.4. So now I'm sort of getting lift, but I'm gonna just kind of ignore it because I don't need to climb now. I don't want to climb. Turn that off. I'm just gonna trim for some speed, maybe some down trim. Airspeed 66 knots. I can be flying a lot faster. Some pretty lumpy air today. It's yeah, this is interesting. Yeah, the previous flights I've done have been not nearly this exciting in the air. Been a lot more smooth between the thermals. Heading 060. Riley says he might go. Okay, buddy. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, not very good at gliders. Yeah, it's a skill, you know. It's definitely something that takes some learning. But that's what's great about the sim, you know. We can just you know, experiment and learn. So, thanks for joining me. If you want to drop out, that's cool. Glad to have you here, and yeah, have fun whatever you're doing. Is there an area where you can usually see gliders flying? Well, where do you live? Because depending on where you live, there may be no glider flying in that area. We tend to do soaring, flying, glider flying, hang gliding, paragliding, kind of out in the mountains, out and away from, you know, civilization, as you can see here, away from big cities. Part of that is because of legal restrictions with airspace, but it's also just because that's where the good flying is, and that's where it's most interesting, where you have interesting terrain. So have fun anywhere, everyone. Yeah, thanks, Riley. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for joining. Thanks for flying with me. I'm not in America. Yeah, no, cool. Yeah, I mean, they fly gliders all around the world. In fact, glider flying is probably most popular in Europe, in like the Alps. Most popular in Europe, and all the good gliders are like German or built in the Czech Republic. This is a Discus 2C, which is manufactured by a German company, I believe. So, yeah. Oh, asking for Utah, yeah. Yeah, there's a couple of spots where they fly gliders in Utah. The most visible would actually be hang gliding and paragliding, and that would be at the point of the mountain in Utah, which we're gonna fly over. That is, let me bring up the map. I'll point that out. That's kind of right. That's kind of right here. That's like our second. Yeah, that's our second turn point. So we'll be headed there soon. That's a cool spot where they fly hang gliders and paragliders, and they'll do ridge soaring, and they can get some thermal lift there too. But 2.8 nautical miles here to Thunder Ridge Air Park. Just gonna go fly right over this one, and then we'll head back to the next spot. Look at these big puffy clouds right where I need to go. That is Handy McDandersonly. Alright, so that counts. Thunder Ridge Air Park. Check that one off the list. Looks like there's a swimming pool down there. Land and go for a swim. Alright, let's how are we doing? Gonna make a turn? Let's head, Man, those clouds are kind of not where I need to go. But... Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, we're alright. 15,500 feet. I don't need those clouds. Alright. First zig done. Now we're on to the zag. Probably flying a little fast. So slow down a bit. Let's see where it wants to trim at. A little fast. Some up trim. I want to try to fly around 70 knots here. So 68, 70, 69. Yeah, that's pretty good. Hands off. Like, where is it trimming at? 70. Accelerating a bit. Sometimes it's hard to get it trimmed, you know, when you're in the turbulence like this. An extra donut at the donut shop this morning. Gotta keep that blood sugar up, you know. Donut break, let's go, you know it. Yo, I love me some donuts. Probably the sugariest, like, worst thing you can put in your body, but I don't even care. Gotta live your life sometimes, you know. One donut at a time. Or two. I had 2 donuts today. Alright, got a big old puffy cloud here, right in front of where I need to be going. Right on my flight path. That is good news. So, some just turbulent, buoyant, turbulent, bumpy air. So we move along through here. Woo. A lot of people flying around Utah today. It's cool to see. Got a good number of people watching the stream right now, which is cool. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. If you're just kind of joining us, we do glider flying on this channel. flying the Discus 2C. And there's a very colorful RGB livery. I think that's kind of more appropriate for the, you know, the whole Twitch streamer, like RGB lighting kind of thing. And it stands out from the regular boring. Usually gliders are just white, you know. Which is, you know, it's pragmatic, but not very fun. We're in the sim, so we can have fun, you know. Glider flying is super cool. Soaring flight is super neat. It's very interesting. There's a lot of really, you know, a lot of nuance to it. There's a lot of cool things we can do with glider flying that I think is could be cool on the stream. So give us a follow on Twitch if you're interested in that kind of stuff. I want to try to get a, you know, kind of a community, a group together, you know, to do glider flights like this, you know, soaring flights together. We can do racing eventually. We can sort of do just practice races or just fly tasks. You know, we can all fly the same flight plan and, you know, same weather and stuff. So there's a lot of cool stuff we can do. I've been flying with my buddy Tom Lowe. If you check out some of my previous streams down below, we've done some cross-country flights together, which is it's a lot of fun. You know, flying like this is cool and a lot of fun, but it's a lot more fun when you have, you know, more people to fly with. And it's definitely possible to have a group, you know. There's guys doing like group flying on doing you know, the bush flying, which is awesome, which is cool. But we can do the same thing with gliders, you know, and that would be really awesome to have, like, you know, 5, 6, 10 people in the you know, in the same flight. So, and it's also beneficial because the more gliders you have in the air, the more pilots you have to mark the lift for you. And I can see, oh, that guy's going up over there, so I follow him. Oh, that guy's going down over there, don't follow him. So, and vice versa. So, the more people in the air, the better it generally is. As I come up on these clouds, I'm getting some lift down to 15,000 feet, and I got some kind of tall, a tall mountain range. Got to get back over the Wasatch Mountains here, so I could use to do some climbing right about now. Sing me a song, Mr. Vario. Oh. Probably should have just kept flying straight there. Oh yeah, oh, ugly, ugly. Oh, maybe it's here. Alright, coming up under this dark cloud, we should find some lift. Just gotta be a little more patient, I think. Wow, really? We're getting nothing here? Gotta be some lift. Okay, here we go. Okay, alright, alright. We get it? I'm gonna turn into the wind. It's going up. No, yes, no, yes, no. $15,400 feet. I I would like to get a bit higher if I can. But I think there's some more opportunities to climb. If this cloud doesn't work too well. Not finding it really consistent yet. There's some strong stuff. Let's try to work that. Let's turn a little tighter. Not super consistent. This one's kind of broken up. I don't think I want to spend too much more time here. I don't want to spend any more time here. Failing on this. Let's just head towards our next point here. See if maybe we get it over here. Nope. Alright, that's it. We're out of here. Let's just head towards this next cloud. Was cloud? Nah, didn't like that cloud very much. We got another cloud though. We've set the weather up to be a pretty good soaring day, a pretty epic soaring day. So if we don't like the lift under one, we just go to the next one. Got glide ratio for days with the Discus 2C. Let's go to this next cloud here and see what we can get. And you can see I do have to sort of get... I either have to go over or around these mountains. And both could offer certain challenge. Space Vampire, I think that's a Sport Flyer in the chat up there at 10,600 feet. So he's getting up now. I think he initially had to go land. Was not able to get up after on the first tow. These clouds don't look very thick, so see what we get out of them. Ooh, that's some really strong lift. Ah, but it's really small though. Mr. Duckbox. Flying over there in the B350. Let's just kind of search underneath these clouds a little bit here and see if we can find connect with a climb here. Bigger, puffier one here on my left. Let's try this cloud. Okay. Alright, come on. That was strong, but it's tempting to try to turn in that, but it was pretty small. You want to hear that vario beep consistently for kind of several seconds before you start turning, right? I want to make sure the area that you're in is large enough that you can make a full 360-degree turn in. Climb all the way around. That one didn't seem like it was doing it for me. See if we get something coming through this cloud here. There's some beeping. Down to 14,900 feet. And I gotta cross these mountains ahead of me, so it'd be nice to get some more, but this may be all we get. There's lift here, but it's punchy and inconsistent. Let's turn into the cloud. We have an attitude indicator on this airplane, so we can see our bank angle while we're in there. Climbed a little bit. And a little slow. That's enough of the synth.
From the far horizons of the unknown come tales of new dimensions in time and space. These are stories of the future.
Well, that was that just cost me some altitude. That wasn't a great turn.
On 1,000 maybe.
Oh, I think I recognize this mountains. Yeah, this spot up ahead here. I think this is where I've flown before. All right, I need to pause it and go for make a piss. I'll be right back. All right. I think I can shoot this gap straight up ahead here. Kind of a canyon there. I think we'll be all right going through there. Wow, it's rough back here, man. Gotta get like situated. Dang, Should I turn in that? Let's try it. $14,700 feet. These are what they call sucker thermals, man. Super strong lift, and you're like, I should turn in this, and then you turn, and then you just get dumped out. That turn's gonna end up costing me altitude. Let me get out of here. Need to get out of here. Got a cloud on my left. I could veer left towards those guys. I think I'm alright. I think I'm just gonna head out front of here. I've been playing really conservative with glide on the gliders here, but these things just go forever, man. We're flying in Utah today, zigzagging across the Wasatch Mountain Range. These are very beautiful mountains, very cool scenery to check out. Alright, should I turn here? No. No, don't get fooled by it. Don't be fooled by it. Sometimes the thermals, they trick you. You think like, oh yeah, this is gonna be a good one. Nope, not a good one. I recognize this area. I've driven through this area before. It's part of Utah. Driven around this reservoir down below here. This is cool mountain pass. It's a pretty epic mountain road to come up through there. And yeah, these are some pretty epic mountains up here. Got some friends that live in this area. I'm pretty sure they're out skiing today. Epic skiing, of course, in these mountains in the wintertime. It's on a long glide here as we come over the Wasatch Mountains. These are definitely the Wasatches, the Wasatch Mountains. I think that's Provo, Utah, right down there. And this lake is that's Utah Lake. Still kind of bumpy. Now this is where I kind of need to be careful because I got wind coming from my left here. So it's coming over the back of these ridges. And so down in this canyon straight ahead of me, there could be some really nasty turbulence in rotor. But I think I can get through there and clear it. But there also could be some lift under these clouds here. Let's kind of fly closer to them and see if we can get up to there. Those guys are nice and high. Only 16.7 miles to my next turn point. And let's take a look. Is there some clouds there? There is. So, you know, I might just head there. I mean, if I spend time trying to climb here, kind of wasting time when I can climb over there. $14,200 feet. All right, I'm just gonna head for the turn point there. That's another little airfield. Where we're headed. And now we're going to fly right over the point of the mountain, which is kind of a legendary, well, not kind of, it's definitely a legendary hang gliding and paragliding site. Just kind of the mountain here just kind of sticks out. You can see right over my nose, right here. The mountain sticks out into the valley. And you got Utah Lake on the left, Great Salt Lake on the right. In the morning, pretty much every day, the wind comes over Utah Lake from the south, and they fly the south side of the mountain in ridge lift. And in the afternoon, it switches, and the wind comes in from the Great Salt Lake. So you can see that. There's Great Salt Lake on my right. And Utah Lake on my left. So a very popular site down here for hang gliding and paragliding. I've flown there a little bit. It's a cool spot for sure. And we're coming off over the Wasatch Mountains here, sort of through this canyon. And yeah, so you got to be careful here. You can see I have the wind's getting a lot lighter though, 6 knots, 7 knots, and it's coming out of this direction. So on the backside of these ridges will be turbulence and sink. You don't want to be in there. I'm pretty sure I'm high enough and far enough away back from them. Not a problem. And I've got the performance of the sailplane just to kind of scoot on out of here. So, not really worried. But there's a little bit of turbulence. Yeah, I just want to fly right towards my turn point. And then, yeah, maybe we'll go fly the point of the mountain a little bit. Yeah, I think that's Provo, Utah down there. Oof. Yeah, we're getting some turbulence here. Oh, that's some strong. Is that lift you could turn in? No, it's fool's lift. Fool's lift. I might take a little bit of a detour and actually these peaks are awesome. And my buddy Ryan Voigt, I wish I could pull that picture up. He's got some excellent photographs flying hang gliders out in front of these peaks here from kind of about this altitude, 14,000 feet. I'm getting rocked around. Oh, those are some mountains. Whew. That's nasty out here. Every time I look away. Just want to show you guys those cool peaks. Let me post the Instagram story real quick here. Bear with me. Whoops. Hold on. Look at these mountains. Epic, epic, epic. I'm flying away from where I should be going, but that's okay. We're just doing a little bit of sightseeing for a second, and then we'll head back towards the turn point. All right. Look at that. Isn't that neat? How neat is that? You can tell that those are mountains because of the way they are. All right, you saw them. They're cool. All right, let's get this. Get back to where we need to go here. 13,000 feet. .5 nautical miles to the next turn point. And there you can see, yeah, oh, there's clouds right over the, oh no, that's the other side of the valley. Other side of the valley. Let's turn a little bit so we can see the point of the mountain better. Yeah, there it is. That's the south side right there. It's just this little hill. It's like a little hill, little baby hill. But yeah, they fly there, and then they fly the other side of this ridge right here. Super cool spot. We'll be able to see it from the air once we hit this turn point. We'll come around, back around. Chat, let me know what's up too. What are your suggestions for future flights? Anything you want to see? Oh man, whoa! We're getting thrown around here. Almost there. Boy, this is an interesting day. We're getting turbulence that I haven't seen really in the sim before. And now we're getting some, I don't know, should I try to work this? No, don't do it. We're getting a lot of lift that's like these like fooler thermals that, you know, you think you can turn in and you get like half a turn into it and then you just get dumped. And that can happen. Thermal soaring can be a mixed bag. It can be great, it can be epic, and then it can be terrible. And the day changes, you know, as the sun moves, the day changes. It can be really good in the morning or early in the afternoon, and then bad later on, vice versa. Typically things smooth out in the late afternoon, evening. Let's see what time it is in the sim right now. 2:12 p.m., so still have plenty of good soaring daylight. Airspeed 70 knots, altitude 12,800 feet. As we approach Camp Williams Airfield, 7.7 nautical miles, our next turn point. Then we're going to basically make another right turn, 120 or 30 degree turn or so, and head back to the northeast. Then we're definitely going to have to climb because we're going to have to get back up and over the Wasatch Mountains. So that'll be fun. Climbing in thermals is kind of the point of what's really fun about flying gliders. Utah Lake out on my left there. And on my right is the Great Salt Lake. So, looks like, look at this cloud right there. Ooh, we got a couple of options here. So you kind of want to be looking ahead when you're flying cross country. You know, I don't want to just be thinking about hitting this turn point. I don't want to be thinking about where I'm going afterwards. And I'm going to be going this direction. So look, there's a cloud. Probably a good thermal under that one. That's a nice dark one. And then further back, we got some clouds over here. So there's some options. Some options for sure. Also, we're going to be flying over some heavily populated area. So landing fields become less and less. So we in the sim we don't have to worry about that, right? We could just do whatever. But it's good practice, you know, to be looking around. Where could I land if I had to? I'm at 12,500 feet. The glide on this thing right now, I got no problems. But by the time I get over there, if I don't get up in like this thermal, this cloud, or up along the ridge somewhere here, if I don't get back up, I'm going to have to land. So where am I going to land? Well, there's not a lot of places to land out there. There's a little strip, maybe I could put it down in. But there's fields over here. Open areas. So, just kind of got to be thinking ahead about that. And I definitely, if I don't get back up in the lift, I'll definitely be looking for, you know, where can I land? What's the spot to go to? I'll try to simulate that as best I can. If you want to see where I am on the map, I can show you, but also I've got a little widget down below on in the About section. There's a little Flight Sim Track app, which is super cool. It works great, and yeah, it's got my position, it's got my altitude, latitude, longitude, heading. The airspeed is not right. I don't know. Yeah, it wasn't working the other day, so that's not right. Is the altitude? Oh, shoot. Close that. Is the altitude above working? Yeah, it looks like that's working too. Yeah. That stopped working yesterday, so just kind of checking on that. All right, approaching the airstrip here, the airfield. Boy, it's not much of an airfield. It's I think they just have like a dirt runway out here or something. But that's the point of the mountain. right down here. It looks like a gravel pit because that's basically what it is now. But yeah, they fly right along here. That's the south side. Oh, and you can actually see there's some paraglider wings laid out on there, on the hill. Get out of the way, sailplane. There you are. Yeah, so those are paragliders right there. Cars parked, paragliders there. Wind comes in, hits that hill. So there's bridge lift down there. Almost there. 0.8 miles. We'll call this good pretty soon. Alright, calling that good. Now we need to turn to the right. Point of the mountain down below. Called point of the mountain because, well, look, see? The mountain comes out to a point right there. Alright, where do we go for lift? I could stay right along the mountains, or there's this cloud out here in the valley. I'm thinking we got, I'm thinking we need to go for this cloud here. Let's fly in the mountains. Let's take kind of a right. Let's go around, carve around the mountains here, and we'll head for this big cloud right out here. Oh, I can hide the yaw string if I want. That I did not know. Hey, Rico, thanks for checking out the stream. Rico, watching over on YouTube. Glad that you're joining me here. How does Microsoft Flight Simulator compare to Condor 2 in weather dynamics now? I'm not the right guy to ask about that, Rico. I have not flown the Condor Flight Simulator. From what I have read a few reports online. I mean, if you Google it, there's some guys that have done some comparisons. And from what I understand, Condor is still a superior in terms of physics and flight model. Certainly when it comes to setting up like proper soaring tasks and things like that, you know, built in. Because that's what it's made for, right? It's a soaring simulator. However, well, really nothing compares to the visual immersion that we get from Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now, this new version just looks absolutely incredible, and I'm a broken record telling people that I'm just awestruck. Basically, every time I'm flying, you know, the visual immersion more than makes up for any lack of features, at least so far. So, I mean, as far as I can tell, I'm not the most technical guy to ask on these types of details, but as far as I can tell, the soaring model it's accurate enough in Microsoft Flight Simulator to be engaging and, you know, to feel like you're having a soaring flight. So, and, you know, the cross-country flights that I'm doing, you know, you're making the same kind of decisions. So, yeah, it's definitely great. Oh, you're on the Mac. Yeah, I gotta get the PC. Yeah, PC. The most accessible way to get into Microsoft Flight Simulator would be an Xbox Series X or S or whatever. Those both will run the sim. Have I seen any hang glider models for Microsoft Flight Simulator? I have not, and as far as I know, no one's done, you know, the proper weight shift dynamics. And do we got some lift here? I would like to climb, so now I'm gonna try to work whatever I can. I've been flying in the sim with my buddy Tom Lowe, who is actively developing a hang glider flight simulator called Free Flight Experience. You can Google that, and we talked about kind of just briefly about, you know, the possibilities of integrating that into Microsoft Flight Simulator. So, you know, I don't know if that could be a thing or not, but Yeah, I think the biggest thing about having a hang glider model in free flight in Microsoft Flight Simulator is having the proper flight mechanics, and that takes somebody who really understands how hang gliders fly. And on the list of people that know and understand how to fly hang gliders and how to develop flight simulators, there's not very many people, not very many names on that list. So Tom Lowe's probably the only one. Yeah, PC for that as well. Yeah. All right, there's some light clouds here. Maybe we'll find some lift and get up. I want to stay on the windward side of these mountains to climb 10,700 feet, so not super high here. Let's see what we can get. What kind of fly? Yeah, 10 knot wind coming up this ridge. Any lift under here? No. Oh. We got some tight lift. Let's see if we can work this. 10,700 feet. Should have plenty of terrain clearance. Gotta be kind of aggressive with this one. This is a small thermal. But, okay, climbing. There we go. This is one you really got to focus on here, so I'm being quiet. It's hard for me to talk and do this well. 11,200 feet. Come on, get back in it. Oh man, come on, that was doing good. Oh, it's small, but I'm getting up here to this cloud. 11,300. Alright, there's some strong lift there, but it's tricky to work. Not there. So now I got an interesting decision to make. 11,300 feet. Not high enough to go straight over the back. But yeah, no, we're good. I'll head for this dark cloud here. Feeling a little bit better now where I am. Head for that cloud. Get up, make a right turn. Still might be able to work this thing here. That is strong. Oh, but it's small. Alright, we're bailing. Not doing that. Not doing that. Get the heck out of there. Head for this cloud. Come on, we want big fat thermals. Thick thermals. Yeah, so now there's like, I mean, this is Salt Lake City, so like this is some dense urban area. So I don't want to get too far without having a landing area. But I'm at 11,000 feet, and I got a big old cloud ahead of me. So I think I'll be able to get up there, make a right turn. I'll head for my next point. Let's give a recap in case anybody doesn't know or joined a little bit later, hasn't seen lately what we're doing here today. It's a little bit bumpy, but let's bring this up. Here's the flight plan, the map. We started down here about 2 hours ago, down in Nephi, flying a zigzag pattern, and we just hit our second turn point and been climbing, and we're headed towards Hoytsville. I don't know if I said that right. And then we're going to go to Ogden. So we're zigzagging across the Wasatch Mountains here in Utah. These are really beautiful mountain range. Some big tall peaks, snow-capped. They're snow-capped pretty much year-round, I think. At least some of them are. And now we're headed north along the western side of these tall peaks to the Wasatch Mountains. And we're going to try to get up and get over the back here. Let's see, my next turn point there is 27 nautical miles. I need to get up in these clouds if I'm going to get over these mountains. These are some big mountains. A lot of area to glide over. I'm getting some lift here. But it's not something I can turn in. How often do you actually get that kind of weather there? Definitely a few times in the summer, Enrico. I don't know this area that well. I've been here a few times. But I'd say this is I've seen some photographs and flight reports from friends who fly in the area, and definitely at least a few days in the summer they get maybe more than that, maybe several days. They get some epic days like this. Definitely, I've been flying through some areas that my friend Ryan Boyd is taking pictures at 14,000 feet up here, so in the hang glider. And they fly sailplanes around here too, of course. And right now I might be in the airspace, the Class Bravo airspace around the Salt Lake Airport. Maybe not. Maybe not over here in the mountains. Definitely the final approach is like out through the up and down the valley over the city there, so what's going on over here? Just like a freaking, there's a field. There's downtown Salt Lake. You can see the tall buildings standing out there. So we're coming up on these dark clouds here, and I'm getting some kind of buoyant air on the way there, but I really want to get a climb. 10,800 feet. The mountains kind of drop off, so maybe I could get over there, but I want to get some clearance, some altitude clearance. But there's some big clouds here, so these generally are good indicators of lift in real life and in the sim, but kind of even more regularly in the sim. This guy right here, this cloud I'm headed towards now, this is the one. Okay, alright. Oh, no. No. In and out of it. I'm just gonna keep going. Sucker thermal. Here we go. This is the one. Here we go. Almost. Be patient. A lot of air traffic around Salt Lake. It's a cool area to fly. I understand that. Alright, coming up on it. That's what we want to see. Come on. Alright, okay. Alright, let's turn. This is the one. Big fat thermal. No need to worry about reach the LZ in a sim. Yeah. That's true. Yeah, no need to worry about reaching the LZ. But of course, I'm still trying to do that. You know, I'm still trying to look for places to land, trying to make a plan. If you know, if I don't get up in the thermal, where I'm gonna go. And in the sailplane that has just this insane glide ratio, you can, yeah, you can go a long ways to get to an LZ. So. But, yeah, you know, it's generally, you know, stress-free in that sense. And now we're climbing good. Look at that. We're going up at about 1,200 feet per minute. There we go. That's what we like to see, 12,000 feet. Let's get up nice and high and just fly these next two legs of this task fast. Already about 2.5 hours into this flight. I was anticipating this taking about 3 hours, but it's a little bit slower pace today. But that's okay. We're streaming, we're flying, we're having a good time. Thanks you guys for joining me. Glad to have you here. Having fun. Climbing up to 12,700 feet. Had an awesome flight yesterday. You can check my videos for yesterday's stream on Twitch. It was a 5-hour flight and I flew 368 miles in the East Andes in Argentina. That was really cool to see some totally new terrain to me. Never seen that in real life or in the sim. But, oh yeah, climbing super nice here now. This is a thick thermal, Scott. Thick. $13,500 feet. We're gonna get right up into the clouds here. Try Brazil. Oh yeah, there's so much flying in Brazil to do, for sure. Yeah, Brazil's definitely on the list. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of places to explore, and yeah, that's what's so cool about the sim, you know, is we can just go fly anywhere we want. You know, we can set up conditions and tasks that are, you know, realistic or real world. And but we could also just you know, just yeah, do totally crazy, impossible things, or things that would be totally illegal, you know, IRL. Nowhere to land a sailplane though. Well, we'll yeah, we'll just have to yeah, we'll just have to fly somewhere where we can land. The ceiling can't be over 4,500. Well, in the sim, there's no ceiling. I got up to 20,000 feet yesterday down in the Andes. There's some pretty epic conditions. Very cool sights to see down there. Boom, we're doing good, guys. We're back alive. 14,800 feet and climbing. Thanks for joining me tonight on the stream. Having a lot of fun flying here in Utah. When we top this thermal out, we'll get another map check, show you where we're at, where we're going, what the flight plan is. And I think I'm gonna call this thermal topped. Look at these clouds. Oh, yeah, maybe let's just turn into the clouds. Why not? We got an attitude indicator on this instrument. Oh, I never get thermals much higher on there. Well, in the sim you can make your own weather, so you can get thermals to as high as you want to get. Alright, let's go bust through this cloud. Oh, a little bit of lift here. A lot of bit of lift here still. In the white room, climbing in the clouds. 800 feet a minute. Altitude 15,000 feet. That's stinking high. Let's go on glide for our next turn point. I'll give you guys the rundown. Let you know where we're at, where we're headed. No, no, this lift is too good to pass up. 1,000 feet per minute. 15.5. Alright, this is good. This is good. Almost 16,000 feet. 15.8. Probably be 16,000 by the time we get out of here. Alright, 16,000 feet. Let me speed up a little bit. Let me give you a recap on where we are, where we're going. Just topped out on that thermal. Zigzag pattern in Utah today. Started down here in Nephi. Did a little zig, little zag, and now we are on our way to the next turn point here, which is Hoytsville. Just about 20 nautical miles away. And I'm going to go ahead and pause it, and I'll be right back. I got to make a piss. Really bad. I'll be right back. All right. All right. Let's go flying. Let's do some flying. We are crossing the Wasatch Mountains, headed to the northeast here, heading 043. 044. You can see stats up above. Looks like it worked. It's working. The altimeter was not working. It stopped working on it during yesterday's flight, but it's working now. 15,900 feet. As we're on glide towards our next turn point. Gonna fly over. Oh yeah, you can see all the ski runs on my right here. It's Park City. On my right. Obviously do a lot of skiing over there. I've driven this highway, driven through this area. So, kind of looks familiar. I've driven that highway down there, too. Great Salt Lake behind me. Gorgeous soaring day we got set up here. Glider flying's pretty great when you can play God mode with the weather in the sim. There's a lot of people streaming Flight Sim tonight, kind of just scrolling through, looking at who's on here while I'm on glide. Everybody flying airliners. Airliners boring. Airliners boring. I mean, to each their own. You like airliners? That's fine. I mean, I'm using the airliner yoke, right? Alright, headed to Hoytsville. World famous Hoytsville, Utah. No, I don't know if it's world famous. See the ski runs down there, Park City. That's where like the U.S. like Olympic ski team, like where they do all their ski training, I think. Some like slalom or something over there. All the various ski runs. Probably a super fun place to be if you're into skiing. I am not. Woo, man. Strong lift on my left here. Let's turn. Why not? Let's climb. Under this cloud. Sucker thermal? Yeah, maybe that one is not working too well. Maybe that's a sucker thermal, as they say. Riley's back in the game. That's cool. Alright, yeah, plenty of altitude, 15,800 feet. We just need to focus on getting to this turn point. Only 13 nautical miles away. And then we're going to make a left turn and fly back across the range to Ogden, Utah. Guys flying the F-18, guys flying the F-22. F-18. A lot of people flying tonight. Chat, let us know what you're flying. I mean, you're watching me, so you're probably interested in gliders. But curious to hear from you. If you haven't chimed in, let me know where you're watching from. Just say hey. Is that a mod or the global sim? To see other players flying around. No, that's built in. That's the way Microsoft Flight Simulator works. It's basically a massively multiplayer online game. You could turn that off. You can play offline, and where you only fly by yourself. But yeah, if I pause it, you can see. Yeah, these are all the people that are online right now in this area. Local players 50, so that's pretty wild. Then you have like a friends list. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I knew that. Enrico, that you fly hang gliders. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. All right, we're kicking butt here. 15,000 feet. Oh, look at that big thermal. We're probably that big cloud there. And so, yeah, 10 nautical miles. We're going to hit that, and then we're going to make a left turn. We're probably going to just make a beeline right back for this guy. Look at that big fatty. That's going to make a thick thermal. Climbing that guy over the range. Boom. Bomb down into Ogden. Buzz the peaks. That'll be awesome. Yes, Enrico, I used to work at the Willswing factory. That's right. Yep. But then they closed down a year and a half ago, I guess now. So. Flying the Discus 2C here from Got Friends. It's available in the marketplace. There's also a free version of this available. So this is a mod and add-on aircraft. But they have added native thermals and soaring in the sim now. So, look at that cool lighting effect with the crescent moon and the sun there. Cool. All right. Okay. I got distracted taking some screenshots. Those are some cool looking shots. Let's get back on our heading. Well, it's 7.5 miles to Hoytsville, and then we're on our last leg. It's been a pretty awesome flight so far. Let me take a look at the Utah high country here. Utah's kind of all high country. Flying the Discus 2C is a good airplane, great airplane. Got a lot of good features in here. I'm definitely not using everything. There's a lot of neat stuff. A lot of neat toys. Very well represented airplane. Good model. So yeah, Rico. It's yeah, sad state of affairs to see what has happened to the hang gliding industry. Hoytsville. So I've been here, actually. There was a bike race nearby here, and this is where... Did we stay? Yeah, I think we stayed in Hoytsville. There's like a... Yeah. Right out the freeway. Right there, there's like a Best Western or something. Stayed at that hotel, and then did a bike race in Colville, which is right over here. Which actually might be neat. Colville's over... That's Colville right there, I think. And so there's a bike race that went up through East Canyon through here. So that was a cool spot. Maybe we'll go check that out. Man, we got a big old thermal right here too, right over our turn point. Well, might as well do some turns in it. I mean, if you guys are here for the thermaling, right? You guys want to see cranking and banking going up. So let's try some of that. A few new people watching on Twitch right now. Thanks for dropping by, guys. Let us know where you're watching from. Always curious to see where people are coming from, what kind of flying they're interested in. Not very many people streaming gliders on Twitch, so that's why I'm doing it. Got to stand out somehow. But also, this is the kind of flying I like to do. I think this is so much more interesting than powered flight. All right, coming up under this cloud. There goes the Vario. Let's kind of just slow down, see if we can find a good spot to start turning. Not really feeling that. Well, I might just get a little bit of like cloud suck under here. Kind of tag my turn point and then just go. Yeah, I don't really need any more lift. I don't think I need any more altitude. I might need a little bit of climbing to get over the mountains to get back out, but so far, maybe not. Yeah, maybe not. Yeah, I know this area. Yep. Driven through there. Ridden my bike through here. Yeah, I know these roads. It's a nice, fun road to ride your bike on that goes around the side of this reservoir lake here. All right. Yeah, look at that big fat cloud. Kind of just to the north of the course line. Right where Ames plays. The gamer tag is. So we're gonna aim for that cloud. Let's silence the Vario. I don't want to hear the sync tone. I wish I could disable that. I haven't figured it out a way yet. Riley says this flight plan comes past where I am right now, so see me in about 10 minutes. All right, cool, dude. Fly on by. Riley was doing some flying with me earlier and dropped out. Good to have you here again. All right, now we are on the final leg of our pretty epic cross-country flight here in Utah. Let me bring up the map in case anybody here hasn't seen what we're doing today. A 181 nautical mile zigzaggy flight around the Wasatch Mountains in the Salt Lake City, Utah area. And we started down here at Nephi. And we did a little zig, a little zag, and we have just hit this last turn point. We're on our way to Ogden, Utah. So we have to cross the mountains again here. Could be a little bit technical. But with this big cloud in front of me and a mountain pass here, I think actually we just have a straight on glide. Yeah, Enrico, you can find me on Twitch in the link in the description. Yeah, you found it. Great. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, twitch.tv/designbydave is my Twitch URL. Yeah, if you don't mind popping over to Twitch if you're on YouTube and giving me a follow on Twitch, that will help the channel over there. I want to build a channel on Twitch, get a streaming audience going, and try to build a community of glider pilots in Microsoft Flight Simulator. We can kind of all sort of gather around the Twitch channel and do some flying together in the sim, you know. There are ways to do cross-country, you know, proper cross-country tasks and racing in Microsoft Flight Simulator using some third-party tools. It's a little bit fiddly to set up. I've been experimenting with it, playing with it a little bit. Tom Lowe's been playing with it. So, you know, if we get like a solid game plan together, and it looks like we have, you know, a system that'll work, we'll put together a, you know, a blog post or a video tutorial how to set this stuff up, what tools you need. It's kind of like you need this third-party app and that third-party app. So yeah, it's a little bit fiddly, and you know, figuring it all out, setting it up is yeah, a little tricky. So but yeah, that's what we need you guys here on Twitch. You know, get your gaming PCs, get your you know, now's a great time to buy graphics cards. You can get 3080s for a lot cheaper now. And yeah, get in the sim and let's do some flying, some racing together. And then streaming it for the world to see, to like, you know, come on guys, let's go fly without engines. Because you don't need an engine to enjoy flying, to enjoy aviation. And in fact, in my opinion, it makes it so much better. Because engines are a pain. Engines are annoying. I mean, you know how annoying the engine is in your car. Gotta change the oil, gotta put gas in the tank. But an airplane's engine is like, hey, you gotta do even more stuff. You gotta worry about like the oil pressure and the fuel mixture and your prop, and like there's so much other stuff. And then like, you know, how much fuel you're burning per minute, and it depends on how much payload you have. And I mean, you got all this math to do, all this stuff to do that's not flying, you know. If all you had to do was push the throttle and fly, then cool. But that's, you know, you got to do all this other stuff. But with the sailplane, with the glider, hang glider, paraglider, I mean, you guys that know, you know, right? Like, we don't worry about that stuff. We just worry about the weather. Good soaring day, let's go. We got epic cross-country conditions, let's go, man. Let's go downrange. Let's do a zigzag task. Let's do a triangle task, whatever, right? And all we need is a way to get in the air. A winch, a truck tow, an arrow tow, a mountaintop to run off of. That's flying. That's just pure flying. Engines. Anyways, there's my rant. Here we go. Found me on Twitch. Thanks, brother. Appreciate that. Check out Enrico. Post down below in the there's a suggestion box down below. Post in there the site that you mentioned in Brazil. I want to check that out. If it's down in the suggestion box, then I'll remember to look there and look it up again. Yeah, I didn't have an account until now. Yeah, so thanks for going through the extra step of setting up an account so you could follow me. I appreciate that. Yeah, if you didn't have to create an account, probably a lot more people would hit the follow button, right? But you got to give me your email address. You know how it is. But anyways, yeah. Scroll down in the About Me section down below, and there's like a suggestion box, and put in the site in Brazil that you're talking about, and yeah, I'll check it out, and yeah, maybe we'll do some flying in Brazil tomorrow. I haven't figured out where I'm gonna fly tomorrow in the sim. I'm definitely gonna fly and stream again in the afternoon like this. So maybe it's Brazil. All right, we're pretty much on final glide here. 13,800 feet, headed towards Ogden, Utah. 23 miles, nautical miles straight ahead. This has been a really fun flight. A little bit challenging, a little bit technical. Not a sure thing. New suggestions are hidden until streamer completes setup. Please notify the streamer. Really? I didn't complete the setup? Maybe that's why no one left me suggestions. Oh, new suggestions are hidden until you grant permission. Oh, okay. Authorize. Suggestion box. Nothing yet. Alright, I think maybe it works now. I just had to like click a thing. Alright, final glide here, guys. Got a few more people joining in. If you haven't seen it, let's give you the rundown on the task today, flight plan, or as we call it, a task. Started down here in Nephi, zigzag pattern, 181 nautical miles over the beautiful Wasatch Mountains in Utah, Salt Lake City area, and we're on final glide pretty much to Ogden, right up here. And let's see, I'm at 13,600 feet with 21 nautical miles to go. Should be no problem getting there. I can fly a lot faster. Oh, and also I want to dump my water ballast. I don't know if I really needed any on this flight, but it has it there by default, and it has like a cool animation when you're dumping it. So yeah, there's the water ballast. Don't need the water ballast with a tailwind. Well, it's like cross tailwind leg here. But we're gonna dump the water ballast and do some. We have plenty of altitude, so we'll do some high-speed passes at these mountain peaks, maybe, and maybe we'll do some aerobatics over the airfield. Great Salt Lake here ahead on my left, sort of straight ahead and to the left. Flying the Discus 2C from Got Friends in this very awesome techno RGB livery. Most gliders just have boring white paint schemes. I mean, it's pragmatic, I get it. You know why they do that, but you know, we're in the sim, you know, we can have some fun, so let's have some color, you know. More fun that way, I think. Oh, there's a, okay. Alright, okay. The suggestion box is working. I got one from Riley there. Do some streams in a Cessna Citation CJ4. Cessna Citation CJ4. I'll check it out. We'll see, maybe. I'm mostly interested in streaming the gliders. There's plenty of other people doing streams in powered aircraft that know a lot more than me about flying powered aircraft. Yeah, hence my rant about motors a few minutes ago. So, we'll check it out though. Maybe we'll check it out. Got some extra time. I'll take all your suggestions to heart for sure. 17 miles to go, flying into Ogden, Utah here. A little bumpy. That's okay. Look at these mountains. Utah, man. If you've never been to Utah, it is beautiful up there. Utah in the summertime, yeah, it's quite gorgeous. I do like it up there. And it's great to see it in the sim, rendered so nicely. If you can't get there, you know, experience it in the sim. In this really immersive environment is super cool, you know. It's definitely not like the real thing, but it's fun. Very fun, very cool. Altitude 13,000 feet, and we are doing great here on glide to Ogden, Utah. 15 nautical miles to go. Look at all the other people flying around here. Waffle Monster. I'm not the only one that likes Utah. Yeah, look at all these guys. Suggestions limit text size. Huh. Yeah, it's just a little widget that you add on there, you know, so I don't got it. Oh, cool. That's a lot of detail, man. Thanks. That's awesome. Yeah. That's great. Yeah, I'll look into that. Yeah, maybe Brazil will fly out. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow we'll do Brazil. If you check my stream from yesterday, we flew in the Andes. That was so cool. That was so cool. That is some very interesting terrain, man. That was not. I mean, I knew it was going to be wild. I've never seen the Andes before, but I mean, you know about the Andes. That's the place. You will fly over Sierra do Corvo Branco and Serra do Rio do Rastro, which are famous tourist spots. The catch is if you want to be realistic, don't have the ceiling above 5,000. Okay. Well, you know, you can set the cloud bases to 5,000. And then that's basically, you know. Although in the sim, it seems like you can pretty regularly climb right up through the clouds. So, you know, I don't know. We'll take a look. Yeah, I'm not necessarily too concerned with realism, you know. I mean, sometimes it's kind of fun to just do sort of ridiculous things, but yeah, I'm kind of just more concerned with just having fun flights, you know. And if that means we set the weather to something that's not super realistic, you know, that's okay. All right, then make it 6,500, 7,000. We'll see. I'll take a look. Once or twice a year. All right, well, we can model that. Whether it happens once or twice a year and get those crazy altitudes, then yeah, we'll do it. All right, we're coming in over Ogden, Utah. 11 nautical miles to the airport. And we're at 13,000 feet, so plenty high over these mountains. So I think we're gonna kind of just gonna have some fun here. I think over these mountains. That is my dream flight here on HG. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll have to create it in the sim. We'll create your dream flight in the sim. And then, yeah, that'll be motivation for you to get a gaming PC built, and then you can create any dream flight you want in the sim. One local PG pilot who is not from this planet once did that on a PG. Once in a decade. Yeah, there's always those guys that are like. Yeah, what kind of alien are you that you're able to pull off these incredible feats? You see that a lot in the hang gliding and paragliding community with people that are just have unreal abilities. It just seems to just come so naturally to them. And so we are, we have plenty of altitude to get to our goal here. So we're gonna do some kind of high-speed runs along these mountains. 10 miles away, 12,000 feet. I'm gonna punch into the wind here. Let's kind of buzz. I want to buzz this peak over here. Give her the old 180 and come back down, and then we'll just do like a high-speed pass of the whole ridge. The guy never seems to care about having an LZ available. Yeah, some people have a really high threshold for not worrying about, you know, quality landing areas and are willing to just push it. And, you know, they get away with it for a while, but, you know, we all know that eventually it'll catch up to you. So I need a little bit of spoilers because I'm coming in hot. Is there a structure up here? Is that a building? A little lookout tower, maybe? Let's give this guy like a house? Or is that just a rock? Give this guy, oh, how you doing? No, it's a house. Look at this. Woof. Yeah, I think that's just a procedurally generated building. I'm curious to see like what that actually is in real life. He's been doing it for 30 years. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Some guys just seem to never get struck by lightning, huh? Alright guys, we're wrapping up this flight, so we're just having some fun with this extra altitude that we have. And flying fast along these mountain ridges here. I'm flying 126 knots. Just kind of mapping the terrain. Go ahead and let her climb out there. That was fun. What a fun flight. Thanks for joining the stream, everybody. We're just gonna have a little bit of fun here flying around these mountains. Yeah, I've been doing these cross-country flights, and they're taking me a lot longer than they need to. I could go a lot faster because I'm climbing way higher than I really need to be. Just like not used to the insane glide ratio of these modern sailplanes. These things just go and go and go. It's absolutely insane. You know, they get something like 40 or 50 to 1 glide ratios. So, yeah, the world seems a little bit smaller when you can glide like this. Kind of than what I'm used to flying a hang glider. So, but that's cool. Altitude 10,100 feet. That's my, yeah, my little widget up top there is working still. It quit working yesterday, so I was just kind of wondering if that's the case. Look at all the air traffic around here. KOGD is where we're headed. And, oh, we'll have a pretty good headwind to land into. Just kind of want to get an orientation for the runways. Let's go fly a little bit, do some high-speed flying around this ridge. Then we'll head out over the airfield. Do some loops, set up for the beat-up landing, and we'll wrap this flight up, we'll wrap this stream up. Have I ever done any live streaming actually flying in real life? No, I haven't. Some guys are experimenting with that. The problem is that from as I recall, there's just a lack of available cell coverage, you know, in the spots where we're flying. Just wasn't reliable enough cell service at the time for that. So maybe things have changed now. Maybe it would work now, but yeah, I haven't heard much in that. Much of anybody doing in that area lately, so. kind of a hammerhead there a little bit. We'll fly out over the airfield now. I don't even need to. Still at 9,800 feet. Tons of altitude. Just gonna kind of play with these mountains. They just look so cool. Now we're just playing, guys. We basically got to our goal. We flew this 181-mile zigzag task. And now we have lots of altitude. So we can just kind of play in the mountains here. It's fun to fly fast along the terrain. Come on, there's like a little fly. This is one of my favorite things to do in the hang glider. Would be just get low and get fast like this. Got a little slow there. That was kind of funky. It's kind of hard to tell if you have terrain clearance for turning back towards the hill. But yeah, you just have energy for days. Like, look at this. I'm... Oh, well, some kind of something up there. That's cool. It's all about the whoosh, yeah. Alright, let's head out over the airfield. This is Ogden, Utah. Another beautiful part of the country. Great mountains to fly. I think they fly sailplanes out of here. I was involved a little bit with the hang glider design process, Erico, and so mostly some of the manufacturing and the tooling processes, but I'm not involved at all anymore. No. All right, 9,200 feet, but remember the ground is like 5,000 here, so I'm gonna let F-18 just climb out right there. Oh man, that guy's moving. So I got about 4,000 feet to play with. Ogden, Utah below me is the airport. This is my goal. Basically got there a little while ago. Some altitude to spare, so we had some fun. Take a look at the map. If you haven't seen what I flew today, this was the cross-country task. 181 nautical miles. Zigged and zagged over the Wasatch Mountains. So cool to be able to do this in the sim, in the glider. No motor. Hey, what's up from Germany? Well, hey, thanks so much, Dieter. Probably murdered your name, and I'm not gonna try to pronounce that last name. Yeah. Thanks, Eureka. Yeah, glad you're watching the YouTube channel. All right, let's do a loop here from the outside view. Give you guys that action. Get right to about VNE, and then we'll pull up. And then we'll do a roll. Ooh, that got a little slow. It's kind of hard to do from outside. How many more loops can I do before landing? I don't know. Let's just keep them going. I'm at 8,000 feet, so I got about 3,000 AGL. Oh, how many low passes can I do? I'm just gonna do one. Yeah, you can definitely do more than one. I mean, the aircraft is capable of doing more than one. Low pass and then landing, but yeah, I don't know if I have the skills for it. So I'm gonna land on runway 17, so I want to head over to the end of the field. Oh man, I would probably be getting absolutely murdered right now if because of the Air Force Base right here. Could probably do 3. I know 2 is possible. Do you fly in real life as well? Not really so much anymore, Dieter. I used to fly hang gliders in real life. Two is possible in hang glider. Yep. Zach Majors. Yep, seen Zippy do it. And I was wrong about the runway. I don't really want to land on 17. I want to land on. I could land on either one. Yeah, let's land on 17. It's a little narrow. That's like the good sailplane. Yeah, I kind of pretty much retired from hang gliding, Rico. I haven't flown in a while. I don't think that I will. I will be flying much anymore. I might though. Get some new viewers in the channel. They must love the aerobatics. Thanks for joining, guys. We're flying gliders on this channel. If you check my other content, we're doing cross-country flying in the gliders, and I can show you kind of just burning some altitude here. Whoops, that's not what I want to see. Let me show you the map, show you what we did today. 181 nautical mile zigzagging flight path. Started in Nephi, Utah, and zigzagged our way across the Wasatch Mountain Range to the north, and now we're setting up over the airport in Ogden, Utah. So we're just wrapping this one up. But yeah, we're flying gliders on this channel. That's primarily what I'm interested in, soaring flight, super duper cool. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, check out, give me a follow on Twitch. Would appreciate that. Dieter has been flying gliders for the last 11 years. Awesome, Dieter. Yeah. I used to be a pretty involved avid hang glider pilot, but yeah, not so much anymore. Most of my time is spent cycling now, riding bikes. But yeah, in the afternoons, being able to come in here and fly the sim is super cool. All right, we're gonna do one more loop, low level loop. All right, let's set up for the beat up landing. It's kind of hard to sort of get this aligned without being able to see. I think I'm way too high. Yeah, I'm way too high. All right, let's buzz the tower then instead. That was fun. Yeah, Eriko, most of the reason I'm not flying hang gliders anymore is just because I got involved in road cycling and bike racing. I could go into it more, you know, like at another time. But I put my gear down. I always check, get the external view to make sure the gear is down. Yeah. All right, let's bring her around here. Let's bring her in on and land. I'll wrap this one up. Been a great flight. Had a lot of fun. Absolutely love the Wasatch Mountains here in Utah. Beautiful place. I got a slightly crosswind, but mostly okay. I pulled the spoilers back to make sure I would clear those power lines there. Oh, you were road cycling too. Oh, great. Yeah. Road cycling and hang gliding are very analogous, so I'm sure you get it. All right, full spoilers here. Coming in on runway 21. And I never hit the center line on the runway, so kind of just don't even try. Try to slow her down nicely. And set it down. Ah, ground looped it. Yeah, I ground looped it. I do that a lot on the landing. My I don't know. I blame my rudder pedal situation is not ideal. I need to fiddle with that. But yeah, that I think is it. That wraps up the flight. And oh, Riley over there, he landed. Very cool, dude. Yeah, what a great flight. Wow, let me show you the map just one more time here. 181 nautical miles zigzagged across the Wasatch Mountain Range in Utah. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, that was cool. Thanks everyone for checking it out. I had a great flight. And now let's end this flight. So I like to go in the cockpit and let me turn that off. Go in the cockpit and you turn the instruments off, and it will then it will give me the end flight. Time of flight 3 hours 9 minutes. Yeah, I was picturing about 3 hours, so that was a little 10 minutes of extra goofing off with the with the aerobatics. So yeah, let's all right. Let's do a raid. I got 7 of you guys here with me, so let's hang out for just a sec and let's find another flight sim channel that we can go raid. And so we'll look at the categories. Somebody rated me last night, and that's really cool to do. So I want to look at like the low viewers, someone who doesn't have a lot of viewers, and we'll go check out their stream. So let me. Oh, this is probably. Yeah, hold on. Let me put that not on the screen because that's probably like giving you like weird, weird infinite camera Mode. Creator dashboard. That's where I want to go. Okay. Yes. All right. I am live. Stream manager. Okay. Let me know if you in the comments if you know a channel that we should raid. Dieter enjoyed your rubber molding video. Oh, thanks, dude. Yeah, that was one of the good projects I got to work on. So let's see who's flying in the flight sim tonight. That needs some viewers that you might want to go check out. This guy says, yeah. Next flight, I'll try to set up my phone to stream. Yeah. Try to do that. Let's see how that can work. I'm interested. Let's see. This guy Ruby. Trying to look for somebody who maybe doesn't have a lot of viewers, who flights around Australia. All right, let's check out this guy. You want to check out this guy right here? Let's say hi. Don't forget to read the RFDS link below. I don't know what that means. Let's just send him a. Let's just say hi. You need to be a follower to chat. Well, I mean, I don't know if that's kind of lame, isn't it? Is that lame? You have to be a follower to chat? Why would yeah, why would we do that? Let's check this guy out. This guy's flying. Let's see what he's up to.
Your reheats, your fuel bleeds, they need to be green, so you're good there. You got engines running, which is fine. Wipers, your landing lights need to be on. Yeah,
This guy's concentrating. He's like focusing on which buttons to click. So I don't think we want to mess with him. Let's see. What's this guy doing? Oh, this guy's got 57,000 followers. This guy's got the 32x9 ultra wide. Yeah, he doesn't have the mic on. Check this guy again. Well, you guys are leaving now, so there's really not much to do with the raid, I guess. So there's nobody really worth raiding. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, it was fun. Sport Flyer, I missed all the turn points and accidentally dumped my ballast at the start of the flight, but still had fun. Thanks for joining, dude. Yeah, I had a lot of fun too. Yeah, we'll play around a little more with with loading the flight plan and the weather and try to get that figured out. It's a little fiddly, like I said. You gotta the menus are kind of buggy. Yeah, it's buggy and fiddly. That's the best way to describe it. So sometimes you have to close it and come back. And I had the issue with the wind where the wind turns off, switches direction. I don't know. Anyways, thanks for joining the stream. I'm going to end this one here. It was great having you guys here with me. If you're not following the channel, hit me up with a follow if you would. That'd be great. We're going to do a lot more glider flying. I've been doing a lot over the last couple of weeks and going to continue to do more. I think it's a really cool way to fly and enjoy the sim and enjoy, hanging with all you guys. So, in any case, all right, guys, have a good Saturday. I'll probably be back on tomorrow afternoon around 2 or 3. So hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. All right.